Good afternoon, yoga homies. CK1 and Jilly Vanilli, my friends from back home, and also the Fab Four from here in Santa Rosa Beach, Mike, Patricia, Frank, and Tina. So I promised you guys I would do a 20-minute video for you so you could do a work with your home practice. So we'll do this one, and if you guys like it, I'll do more. So let's, without any further ado, I'm gonna jump right into it. So as you know, I'm not going to do this in earnest because I don't want to waste time in preparation and meditation. But you can see here, I'm starting in Tadasana. So this is one of, there's probably many ways that you can start a yoga practice, but here's one. So if I were going to start in Tadasana here, I'd be gently reaching towards the floor, and I would be trying to grow the crown of my head towards the sky. Not my forehead, not the back of my head, but the crown of my head. And then cultivating an in and out breath through the nose. Here's another way. You can begin seated in Sukhasana, what we used to call Indian style growing up. This is called Sukhasana. You can extend that out. If cross-leg is making you lean back, you can always extend it out. You can begin here in a mudra, like an Anjali mudra. Or you can also begin reclined like so, with just palms toward the sky. You can begin in Shavasana, okay? So you're gonna decide that day what you feel like doing. If you're here, I'm kind of reaching toward the camera with my fingers and extending the crown of my head to create some length in the back of my neck. And another way that you can start is like this, in child's pose. So you can see here, if you look underneath, you can see my big toes coming to touch, fingers spread wide. And here I'm gonna inhale and then exhale back towards child's pose and begin to breathe in and out through the nose as I encourage my sit bones toward my heels. And as the older we get, the tighter we get. So after I've encouraged my sit bones toward my heels, again, I'm gonna truncate this part of it so I don't waste your time, because you guys can get into these positions and see what your body's asking for. But at some point you're gonna wanna come forward in sort of a modified Cobra. You're gonna wanna come back to child's perhaps, right? If you're still encouraging. So we're getting some opening here in our psoas, our iliopsoas, right? Which is our hip flexor, right? And we're articulating our spine. You can see I don't have that much I'm not able to get a whole lot of flexion in my spine, unfortunately, but that's why we're practicing yoga. This is the reason. Some here, right? Now we also know that we're in child's pose. We want to get into a twist, right? So we can always inhale our arm up, exhale under, inhale up, exhale under, and then we can end up in this twisted child's pose right here, Pavrita Balasana, like this, and we can use this other hand, this forward hand, for support, and we can encourage this twist. This hand, if I want more twist, I just put pressure on this hand. That's going to increase the twist for me, right? And if I want to use my neck, I can look right, I can look left, and all this kind of business, okay? Same thing on the other side, okay? So once I've done that, I've done some forward and aft, I've dipped my hips, I've flexed my back. You know that you can do cat-cow. So cat-cow, you're gonna have your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and you'll inhale like this to where your sit bones are shooting up into the air. My forehead's coming up, and then I'll exhale to cat, where I'm gonna dome my spine. Inhale and exhale, right? And 6 or 7 of these is plenty to start articulating your spine. Remember that when you inhale here, again, my sit bones are coming up into the air, plunk like that. and my chest and torso are dipping down towards the mat, and my head is coming back. And then I'm going to exhale into this domed position. As you exhale, draw your core up and in and make it tight, right? So now you've kind of done your warm-up, right? You guys know with the hands, now everybody's going to feel comfortable with something different. For me, there's a couple things I like to do. So let's start out with this semi-push-up. What you're going to see here is basically, I'm going to spread my fingers, put them on the mat, and just to warm up the wrist, you see the heel of my hand is lifting up, is pushing me up, but the pad of behind my fingers is not, where the metatarsals are. So I'm kind of doing this. That is going to warm up my wrists and forearms to get ready to do down dog, depending upon how. So you could do like 10 of those. And for me, you don't have to do this. There's a lot of different ways to flex your wrists. You can do this number, you can do this. For my body, it feels good to put the backs of my wrists on the mat, and now I'm gonna gently sit back. You notice you barely see me moving, but in my wrist, I can see that, and I can move left and right. And again, I haven't warmed up, so there's been no warm up prior to me working with you guys, okay? So now that's all done, and we've assume that you've gone through some sort of a warm up. Now I'm going to plant my hands down on the mat. I'm going to curl these toes under. So these toes are curled like so. Inhale here, exhale, downward facing dog. Now I'm just going to relax my head and let it fall. My hands are aligned in front of my shoulder so that I'm driving my hips toward the sky, feet hips width apart, and you cannot see your heels. If you can't see your heels, you're doing this right, meaning you're aligned. So now I'm going to pedal my feet out a little. If you like to pedal, you can pedal. If you don't, that's fine too. Bend your knees here to allow your spine to extend. Now I'm going to take an inhale. I'm going to exhale, knees toward the floor to get some flex going to my feet. Not touch the floor, but close. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So I've done a few of these, kind of get my feet warmed up. Okay? Now I'm going to slow walk to the front of my mat. So I'm going to come up on my fingertips. Now I'm at the front of my mat, and I want to just hang out in forward fold in Uttanasana for a minute. Inhaling and exhaling and allowing your spine to extend. So after we get done with that, again, I'm going to simulate, because in real life, I want to stay here longer. I want to work left. I want to work right and work into the lower lumbar. But for now, we're going to inhale, halfway lift, flat back, exhale, fold, inhale, rise, exhale, Samastitihi, which is hands at heart center, yoga position of attention. So we're going to do a couple of sun salutation A, right? But before we do that, we're going to do something I know that Christine is going to love, CK1, and it's sort of a skier's maneuver. You guys have done it here. What I like to do is I'm going to say inhale, I'm going to exhale, squat down, hands rotate, inhale, back up. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Exhale. See, you can make that squat deeper so that you're touching the floor. But I like this warm up. I discovered this from swimming. The swim across the Hudson is how I started doing this. And it just kind of gets you warmed up. Samastitihi. So you do some iterations with that. You can also mix that with this. I inhale, I exhale, I inhale, come up, exhale, twist. Inhale, come up, exhale, twist. Inhale, reaching, woo, and exhale. Hopefully you can hear my breath. So this is a really great warm-up that I like to do, and you'll see that it'll really get you warmed up. Now we're going to do some Surya Namaskar A or Sun A. So now once again, I'm always checking the alignment of my feet. I always want to be disciplined about that. So here, I'm going to inhale, arms up. Maybe I'll back bend, not too much yet, still early in practice. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. I'm going to plant my hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward towards plank. Hang out here in plank as long as you like for the first couple. Exhale, low plank. Now, from here you can do a series of cobras, right? If you want to do Cobra, you can do it with your hands to help, or you can work your lower back by going no hands mom as you push these into the mat. So it depends on what your back's feeling like. This is like your standard Cobra. I can come knees, exhale, downward facing dog. You can take 3 breaths here if you're in a hurry in your flow. I walk myself forward. I line my feet again. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Tuck your belly up and in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, samastitihi. Inhale, rise, maybe a little more of a back bend using this core to protect your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, forward towards plank. Look in front of you. Exhale, low plank. Flip your feet. Inhale to upward facing or Cobra, your choice. Exhale, downward facing. Take 3 breaths, or if you're in a hurry, just tiptoe to the front of your mat. Align your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You can inhale to a ragdoll if you want to just realign your spine. Exhale, samastitihi. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, okay? Okay, we're gonna do one more of those, and I'm gonna demo Cobra even more specifically for you. So once again, you saw me align my feet. I always wanna know where my alignment is. I don't wanna just come to the mat and be like this, like I'm waiting for the bus to go to Blue Mountain, right guys? All right, I always wanna know where my alignment is, and I'm deliberate about where my alignment is. You see here, I've decided toes to touch. So my heels are apart, right? That's to make space for my knees, but my feet are aligned. If my feet were this far apart, I want my feet aligned. Because if my feet are aligned, I know my hips are aligned. So here we are. So we're back here. Feet are aligned. Samastitihi. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale forward towards plank. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a cobra. So we're gonna go knees. I'm rotating my elbows in this way. Chest, chin, or for me it's really chin, chest. Inhale towards cobra, look up at the sky, bring my toes underneath, exhale, downward facing dog. Now, instead of stepping, I'm gonna hop. So I'm gonna inhale, exhale, knees down, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, inhale, rise, exhale, Namaste. So now you've gone through a couple different iterations of Surya Namaskar A, and you can do those until you warm up. Now we're going to do some Surya B. So once again, I'll start in Namaste. Now, depending upon how your hips feel, you can start to connect your toes. I'm not there yet. In fact, I shouldn't have had that meal shake before I came out here because I'm feeling it as I'm trying to digest. Probably wasn't a good idea. Okay, so I'm here now. My feet are in line. Okay, so I'm going to inhale. Exhale, sweep the floor. Inhale. And now I'm sitting my weight back on my heels. Toes can even come up off the mat. And I'm trying to rise my torso. Inhale, exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, pushing into my shins. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. On your next inhale, raise your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Now, DJ add-on is I'll come forward to three-legged plank. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm going to step forward to the front of my mat, separate my feet laterally. Left foot is near the left edge of the mat, right foot is near the right edge of the mat. Inhale, rise into warrior one. If this is good right here, notice I'm twirling my hands so the pinky fingers are coming towards you. That's to keep my shoulders down so I don't look like James Caan in The Godfather, right? So I'm here, inhale. If you want to add a twist here, you can add a twist. If you're not feeling it and you're challenged right here, just bring this hip crease back. Make sure your hips are squared toward the front and breathe and work on lowering your stance here. See, I'm trying to come forward. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna do a vinyasa here. I'm gonna plant my hands, step back, inhale forward. Exhale down, I'm gonna flip my feet. Bloop. Inhale, upward facing. Pike, exhale, downward facing. You can get to downward facing dog any way your body will allow. Take 3 breaths here. In downward facing, mindful breaths, trying to extend your spine. Inhale, left leg toward the sky. Exhale, forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise. Okay, now I'm risen up. If you notice I'm sweating, it's because I turned the heat on here. So we've got the panels on. So now I'm going to inhale to, now this side is more difficult for me. This psoas is tighter. So I'm going to square my hips here, inhale, and I'm just going to work on this psoas, which is really not feeling comfortable. So no twist for me, but if you want to twist, right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale, exhale. So now I'm going to plant my hands, step back to downward facing. If you want, you take a couple of breaths here, maybe 3 if you like. Maybe you pedal. Inhale forward towards plank. Exhale, low plank. I'm going to flip my feet. Inhale to upward facing. Oh, and that's the timer, that's 20 minutes. All right. Okay. So now I'm at downward facing. Now what I'm gonna do, after my 3 breaths, I'm gonna inhale, and then I'm gonna exhale, step hop, inhale to chair pose, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, inhale, rise, exhale, samastitihi. All right, I'm going to show you guys one more thing that you can do to round out this first practice that we're doing together here that's going to be on YouTube. So let's say we did our Surya A and our Surya B. So those are, we just finished Surya B. So now I say I want to spice it up. Okay, so I'm going to inhale, arms up, exhale, twist again, just to get a twist going. So notice my head is following this hand to my ability. Inhale, I'm going to exhale, look over the left hand, right? That's good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. As you exhale, right? Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Now I'm really starting to dig into the core. Exhale, fold. I'm going to step back. I'm going to inhale forward. I'm going to do another vinyasa. Exhale, flip, inhale, pike, exhale. Now you can come through the knees, you can come through table, it doesn't matter, whatever works for you. So I'm here. Now I'm going to inhale, right leg toward the sky. Exhale forward towards the front of the mat. Now I'm going to move my feet so that I have the right heel is about lined up with the left arch. Inhale, rise to warrior 2. For me, I'm going to bring my leg all the way over. It's going to almost be lined up with my forefoot. Shoulders down, gaze toward your center finger. And now I'm going to start to spread my feet apart. So I'm walking that front foot towards you a little bit. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale to exalted warrior. Looking up at the sky, looking up at my hand. Breathing. Inhale again. And as I exhale, I'm going to come forward. I'm going to rest this here. And now I can either reach forward in Utthita, drawing a line between my left leg and my left arm or hand, fingers, or I can decide to make it an opener and look toward the sky. Whatever you choose is good. It's the right choice. Inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale, hands to the mat. We'll vinyasa again. I'm going to inhale forward towards plank. This time I'm going to exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale towards Cobra, looking up. Curl my toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'll take a few breaths here maybe, or I can just keep the flow going. It's up to you. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, plank. Inhale, left leg rather. Plank. One more time. Exhale forward to the front of the mat. Now here I am. Once again, I'm going to get a heel to arch. Inhale, rise, and I'm in warrior 2. This is my natural warrior side. It's easier for me on this side. So take your time to set your feet. There's no hurry. Reaching my fingers out, aligning my gaze with the center finger. Shoulders are down. They're not up like this. They're down. Inhale forward. Exhale to exalted warrior. And now breathe here. Viparita Virabhadrasana. One hand is reaching toward the floor. The other hand, finger spread, reaching toward the sky. Inhale. I'm going to exhale now into either an extended side angle, or I'm going to do a modified where I'm going to open my body towards the sky. Work on that twist, aid your digestion, all that neat stuff. Inhale back to warrior two. Marinate, exhale. Plant your hands on the mat. Step back to downward facing. Inhale forward. Exhale, low plank. Flip your feet. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. After you've taken 3 breaths here, I can decide I'm going to slow walk to the mat this time. Working on those hamstrings. Feet are aligned. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Samastitihi. And that's a wrap for this one, kids. So let me know what you think. If you like it, we'll do more. Hendrick Hudson High School, class of 85, one love. Yoga students from Santa Rosa Beach, also one love. Peace.